She watched him from the window, like she had so many times before. But this time was different. Her heart wasn't full of anger or fear. It was full of something she hadn't let herself feel in a long time. Hope. The morning sun poured softly over the Heartland ranch, painting everything in a golden glow. Horses grazed peacefully in the fields, birds chirped quietly, and the air smelled like fresh hay and morning dew. But inside the house, Amy Fleming stood still behind the kitchen curtain, watching Ty from a distance. He was saddling Phoenix near the barn, his movements steady and calm, just like they had always been. He hadn't changed much. Not really. He still moved like someone who belonged here, but for Amy, everything had changed. She had lost him once, for real. And now, even with Ty back, his voice, his hands, his presence, part of her was still afraid he could disappear all over again. So for weeks, she built a wall around herself. She stayed busy. She focused on the horses. She smiled when she had to. But when Ty looked at her, really looked at her, she turned away. Because if she let him in again, it would hurt that much more if she ever lost him again. Behind her, the sound of boots creaked against the floor. Jack walked in, holding his coffee mug, still warm from the pot. He didn't say anything right away. He didn't need to. He stood next to her, looking out the same window. "You don't have to keep pretending, Amy," Jack said softly. Amy didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on Ty as he gently patted Phoenix's neck. She blinked quickly, but a tear still managed to slip down her cheek. "I'm not pretending," she whispered. Jack raised an eyebrow. "Then what are you doing?" Amy sighed. She hated that Jack could always see through her, like glass. "I'm protecting myself," she said, her voice tight. Jack took a slow sip of his coffee, then looked her in the eyes. "From what? From love? From healing? You think your mom would have wanted that?" Amy turned away from the window, her chest aching. "I don't know what she would have wanted. I only know what I can handle. And can you handle spending the rest of your life watching the man you love from a window?" Jack's voice wasn't angry. It was full of care, of truth. Amy didn't answer. She just stood there in silence, staring at her hands. Outside, Ty felt the breeze shift. It was one of those quiet mornings where everything felt unfinished, like something needed to be said, something needed to change. He looked back toward the house for a moment, hoping maybe Amy was awake, hoping she might step outside, even if it was just for a minute. But the door stayed closed. Inside, Amy finally walked away from the window. Her feet moved on their own, carrying her through the kitchen and toward the front door. She stopped with her hand on the handle, frozen in place. Could she really do this, after everything? She looked down at her hand. Her wedding ring was gone, tucked away years ago in a drawer. But the mark it left, that was still there. Her heart still carried him. It always had. And for the first time in what felt like forever, she let herself feel it. She let herself miss him. She let herself want him. Jack watched her from the hallway, saying nothing, just nodding, like he knew. Amy stepped out into the morning sun, each step slow and unsure. The gravel crunched under her boots, and her breath quickened as she walked toward the barn. Ty looked up when he heard her. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Amy stood just a few feet away, heart pounding. She could turn back. She could pretend this never happened. But instead she whispered, "Hey." Ty didn't smile. He didn't speak. He just looked at her, his eyes searching hers, as if trying to believe this was real. Amy took another step. "I was watching you, from the kitchen. You still have the same way of saddling Phoenix. Slow and steady." Ty chuckled lightly, the sound dry but warm. "Old habits. They bow